When I was in grad school, I was working 12 to 16-hour days, and I was incredibly burned out. I was so exhausted and anxious about my future that my ears would ring for hours at a time, and I suffered rolling panic attacks. When I went to a counselor for help, I was completely stumped by one question he asked me: "What do you do to help yourself feel safe?" I drew a complete blank. I couldn't actually remember what safety felt like anymore. I was so used to being anxious and on edge all the time. Since then, I've learned a lot and healed a lot, but I'll always remember the moment I realized I didn't know how to help myself feel safe. It wasn't until I discovered Dr. Paul Gilbert's work that I learned why safety felt so out of reach for me. Dr. Paul Gilbert, a clinical psychologist and author of The Compassionate Mind, identified 3 distinct emotional regulation systems that operate within the human brain. We manage our emotions in everyday life through a balance of these 3 systems: the threat system, the drive system, and the soothing system. Learning what they do and how we use them can help us identify imbalances in our own regulatory systems. The threat system. The threat system is an ancient survival mechanism that evolved in humans to protect us from danger. It's responsible for detecting potential threats in our environment and triggering the fight or flight response. When the threat system is activated, it releases stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, which prepare the body to respond to the perceived danger. The threat system is essential to our survival, but it can also cause significant distress and anxiety, especially when it's overactivated. The threat system is not inherently bad. It kept our ancestors alive and continues to keep us alive. However, it is arguably the strongest of the systems for evolutionary reasons. Our more nervous and paranoid ancestors were extra careful not to get themselves into dangerous situations and therefore lived on to create more offspring than their less anxious peers. This means our threat systems have genetically become quite strong and is often the first system to react in uncertain situations. And unfortunately for us, our threat system isn't limited to just external threats anymore. We now have an evolved mind capable of imagination, fantasy, rumination, and worry about imaginary things or events. Our threat system can be activated in response to perceived threats, whether real or fantasy. Unlike our ancestors, we're not typically running away from saber-toothed cats, but we are worrying more and more about conceptual things like jobs, money, status, and identity. And this chronic worry and stress results in a threat system that is almost always on, leading to anxiety, phobias, depression, and feelings of helplessness. The drive system. The drive system is the second system and is responsible for our pursuit of rewards and goals. It's activated when we're motivated to pursue something we want, such as food, sex, or success. The drive system is linked with the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter that's associated with pleasure and reward. When we successfully achieve a goal, the drive system is activated, and we feel a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. But this too can become over or underactivated, resulting in burnout or demotivation, which I'll explore more in future videos. The soothing system. The soothing system is the third and final system, and it's responsible for our ability to calm ourselves and others down. It's linked to the release of oxytocin, a hormone that's associated with bonding and relaxation. The soothing system is characterized by experiences of contentment, relaxation, care, affection, acceptance, kindness, warmth, encouragement, support, and affiliation. For this reason, it's also called the rest and digest system, because only when we're neither running from predators or scavenging for food, as we would with the drive system, can we take the very necessary time to rest our minds and bodies and let our body, like our digestive systems, do what it needs to do without interruption. This system's often left out in many people's lives. For those who are high-powered and ambitious, they might oscillate between the threat system and the drive system, between working and anxiety. Many people have trouble associating with their soothing system. And this is unfortunate because the soothing system is the natural regulator of the threat system. Activation of the soothing system downregulates and weakens the potentially toxic effects of an overactive threat system and can also help heal us from an overactive drive system. The soothing system is essential for our overall well-being and helps us manage our emotions in a healthy way. Dr. Gilbert suggests that the soothing system is underdeveloped in many people, particularly those who have experienced neglect or abuse in their childhoods. Safety systems can be turned off or dysfunctional due to developmental experiences that have made soothing experiences feel unsafe. This would be experiences from childhood where maybe you had asked for affection or soothing when you felt anxious and instead were met with neglect or abuse. This led to the association that safety was not easily attainable, or even when you asked for it, you would be met with negative consequences. Another possibility behind an underactive soothing system is that we were raised by people who didn't or couldn't teach us the necessary skills to activate our soothing system. As children, we learn from our caregivers how to deal with negative emotions. If our only role models couldn't or wouldn't soothe our childish tempers, but reacted to us with anger or neglect, we might not have properly learned how to soothe ourselves. Or if they couldn't soothe themselves, we might not have had the chance to learn by watching their example. When the soothing system is underactive, it can lead to feelings of loneliness, isolation, and shame. If you struggle with an overactive threat system and you're always on edge or anxious, it's likely due to a block in accessing or activating your calming soothing system, which is very common. If you feel your access to your soothing system is blocked or that you're just out of practice, the goal should be to practice the skills needed to strengthen our connection to the soothing system so that we can call on it when we're feeling imbalanced, not to create a block in our threat system. This is important to note. The goal is not to deactivate our threat system or to weaken it. Despite the headaches it can give us, the threat system is still very important and useful. It keeps us out of danger and alerts us to dangers and discomforts that we should be aware of. Instead of putting too much attention on any one system, what we do need is for each of our systems to be present, robust, and balanced. I'll be making future videos about how to strengthen our soothing systems and how to get to know more about each of these three systems. If you want to learn more right away, I recommend looking into Dr. Gilbert's work in compassion-focused therapy and compassionate mind training, and the book, The Compassionate Mind. If you'd like to learn more here on my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Thank you for watching.